In this video, we're going to learn to factor type 1 trinomials. They're actually pretty nice. We'll be looking at type 2 trinomials in another video. In type 1 trinomials, it's called a type 1 because we actually have a 1 in front of the lead term. We have the descending order, which means the squared term first, plane B second, and then the 7. The way that we do type 1 trinomials is we multiply we take the constant term 7 and we find all of the factorings of it. 1 and 7, that's the only thing that multiplies out to be positive 7. Now we also need them to add up to be this positive 8b. But we're going to make those numbers out of the 1 and the 7. In order for 1 and 7 to add up to a positive 8b, both the 1 and the 7 have to be positive so that they add up to that middle term. That's why we now can open up our two parentheses. The lead factor b squared goes in each of the first positions. The only two numbers that multiply out to be b squared are b and b. And now we know that to multiply out to be positive 7, but add up to positive 8, it would be positive 1 and positive 7. To check your work, and I'll only check this first one, but to run a check, all you do, now see this is the answer, the factored form, but to check it, all we would do is multiply right back through again. B times b is b squared. B times 7 is 7b. Then we'd scoot over. 1 times b is 1b, and 1 times 7 is 7. Combine the middle terms, and so we have b squared plus 8b plus 7. When you're able to multiply it back together again and get back to the original, you've got the right factoring. Let's do number 3. Again, you're going to open up your two parentheses factors. We know it's a type 1 because we have the 1 in front of the m squared term. I'm going to write down the factors of negative 90, 1 and 90, 2 and 45, and you would just grab your calculator and start building them. Start at 1, see if 2 goes into it, see if 3 goes into it, see if 4 goes into it. I don't think it does. No. The number 5. Let's see, 5 and 18, I believe. Yes. 6 and 15. And then eventually 9 and 10. I'm going to pick 9 and 10 because I can make those multiply out to be a negative 90 in a minute with the signs, but I need them to add up to a positive 1m. For 9 and 10 to make a positive 1m, I'm going to need to make the 9 negative and the 10 positive. And I can add negative 9 and positive 10 equal 1. M. Remember, you're actually trying to make that middle term by adding them. And the negative 9 times 10 still multiply out to be negative 90. So now, in the lead positions, factors of your m squared, m times m. And in the second positions, the negative 9 and the positive 10. And again, you could check it by multiplying them back together again. Let's do one more in this video, or a couple more. I'm going to write down the factors of 9, 1 and 9, and 3 and 3. I need to build somehow out of those factors a negative 10. I can do that with a 1 and a 9. They would both have to be negative in order to add up to a negative 10. So negative 10n. So build your two parentheses. Factors of n squared are n and n. Factors of 10 that add or subtract out to be negative 10 would be this negative 1 and negative 9. Now another neat thing, remember, is that it doesn't matter what order you put the factors in. It could be n minus 9 times x minus 1. As long as the parentheses are identical, exactly the same, it doesn't matter which parentheses you put first or which one is second. But the insides has to be identical. Number 7, factors of negative 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. I need to be able to add them or subtract them to make a 2m. That would be 6 and 4. Would be a positive 6 and a negative 4 to add up to a positive 2m. So you'll open up your two parentheses factors. Factors of m squared are m and m. And we know now that we need the negative 4 and the positive 6. And you always check your work. I know that the inside and outside product are going to add up to positive 2m. But do negative 4 and 6 still multiply out to be a negative 24? Yes. Let's try number 9. 40. 40 has factors of 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, and 5 and 8. If I need the factors to somehow add up to a negative 13x, I can make that happen with 5 and 8. If I make them both negative and add them together, I get negative 13k. And negative 5 times negative 8 is still a positive 40. So I'll build my two parentheses factors. Factors of k squared are k and k, and I know that I have a negative 5 and a negative 8 in the second positions. And again, any of these can be checkable by simply multiplying right back through again. I'll see you in the next video. We'll continue.